Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Here with another video. And today I wanted to talk about the subject of actually being intentional about your life. And I think this is one of the things that maybe a lot of people stumble with because of the fact that we don't always consider what we want our life to look like. But in order for you to be successful and to really enjoy the life that you're living, you've got to be able to focus on where you're going, what you want to do with your life. What does your life look like? What does your best life look like? Now, that's not to say that there are not going to be any challenges at all. I think life is filled with sometimes because of the learning process itself being quite challenging, there will be moments where sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down. But the thing to remember is as long as you have a focus, as long as you have a goal and an outcome, you will easily achieve it as long as you know where you're going. So the first thing before you do anything about thinking about living an intentional life, you've got to know what it is that you want your life to look like. Now, I'm not talking about having a complete plan for your life. That's not always really possible. But you can start with the spiritual side of life or the physical type of life or even the financial. What do you want your finances to look like? And then start working towards that. Because once you start that process, then you will have everything that you need in order to achieve that goal. And I say that in terms of ideas and even funds, for example. So the first thing you need to do when you want to live an intentional life is to decide where you want to go. Once you've decided where you want to go, then everything else is, I wouldn't say smooth sailing, but that's 80% of the journey. 20% of it will be the work that you need to do. I like using the 80-20 rule because it's such a powerful thing in terms of setting your intentions or changing any area of your life. So number one, know what you want to do, what you want your life to look like. Start, chunk it down, start with one focus, and then eventually lead to other areas of your life. Because once you start with a little one, you build confidence I can't speak today. You build confidence in terms of your ability to achieve your outcomes. So, sometimes I think one of the things that have really been a stumbling block for me has been to kind of want to have the whole life set out for me. And that's impossible. Rome was not built in a day. And part of that involves you working every single day to achieve something small. And those little goals, those little movements every single day will eventually, within a month, be such a mammoth shift in your life. The other thing I think is really important, by the way, I've got some notes here. So if I'm looking down, it's because I've got my prompters down here. So the other thing that you need to focus on if you want to live an intentional life is to find people, find a group, find a society, find one person, find a role model that is living the life that you want to live, or aspiring towards living the life that you want to live. And I think one of the things why Christianity is really important. The other thing would be, I know it's really hard sometimes to find a group. Well, and I mean that in a sense of being in London and having to look for my own space, for example. And I found it quite difficult. And part of the way you could do it is by finding a coach, because I think, and I know it's hard to find somebody that will be in the same groove as you, but trust me, it will be the best thing that you ever do. And, sometimes you've got to sift what do they say? Sift the wheat from the chaff. You don't always find in your first go the most extraordinary coach. Sometimes you have to keep looking or being in that space where you can find people who are good at, and you don't have to wait until you find somebody. I think that's another thing. Start anyway. Start your journey, and what you need you will have as you go along. But I think part of that journey means surrounding yourself with the right people so that you're able to take in, absorb, and learn, and also have a space where you can make mistakes and still be able to recover. Because part of the journey, the lonesome journey, is that when you make that trip and you fall, it's sometimes really hard to come back up from it. But if you have people, if you've surrounded yourself with a group of people that are on the same journey as you, it'll be easier to sort of almost come back and bounce back quicker than you would on your own. So be very aware of who is in your circle and where you can get that support from. The other thing for me is to, exactly that. Surround yourself with people who are there for you. I think part of the difficulty in trying to develop yourself is being in the same environment that you have been while trying to recover or trying to reach higher. So if you want your life to be better, you've got to shift from the circle that you're in, because the distance you've come so far has been with the people that you've surrounded yourself with. So if you need to step up higher, that needs to change. Now, there's some people that will come along with you in the journey, and there's others who will kind of say, oops, sorry, I think this one's my stop. And you've got to be okay with letting them go. I think one of my difficulties has been letting go of people, because I'm the sort of person that have friends for like a long time. 20 years, 30 years, we're still hanging tight. And I had to realize that they are not where they need to be to take me to where I need to be. So you have to be selfish in that sense, because sometimes there's some people that are what I call joy stealers. You know, they're there to just grab the life out of you. No matter how you try to help them, no matter how willing you are to take them along your journey, they're just not shifting. So the joy stealers will steal that joy, will kill that dream for you, also dream killers, so that you are no longer even able to dream for yourself. You can't even see how it's possible for you. So be careful of the joy stealers and the dream killers, because they don't always know it, but you can shift them out. You can pull them out because of the way you feel when you're around them. So it's really, really important that you are aware, self-aware enough for yourself to know, every time I hang out with that person, I end up more depressed. I end up crushing my dreams, or they end up making me feel like I can't do it. So you need to surround yourself with people who are either on that journey or are already there, so that you're able to recalibrate yourself and focus on the things that you need to focus on, and not necessarily having to pump people up around you or encourage people around you, or remind them what your vision is and where you're both going. Let them go. But if they're supporting you and they're quite happy to come along with you, then that's fine. You can all learn together, but be sure also that they're not bloodsuckers, so that they're there with your journey, but they're only there to get what they can out of you. And it takes a lot of consciousness. It takes a lot of effort for you to be able to notice that and get rid of it. But it also means you being really, really clear about where you're going and what you need to do to get there. The rest of it is pretty easy. So I hope that's been helpful. So if you want to be intentional about your life, stay focused, be careful who you surround yourself with, and remember that not everybody is there to take you along your journey. So hope that's been helpful. If you've got any questions, let me know. My email address, as you know, is in the info bit. So I look forward to speaking to you soon. Have an amazing week and stay blessed. Take care. Bye.